quit buying 1080p monitors when 1440p exists, and we're talking under $150.
We got 5 monitors from Amazon that we bought today that start at $150 and range as cheap as $99 for 1440p high refresh rate. In today's video, we're gonna round them all up, rank them, and show you guys the best ones after a word from today's sponsor.
PCBROS is today's sponsor, which is our PC selling business.
As you can see, we're in our storefront right now. We're gonna show you guys some of the stuff you can get up front at PCBROS.tech.
First off, we got PCs ranging anywhere from a couple $100 all the way to a few $1,000s. You can actually come in person or shop online today.
And if you do come in person in Louisville, Kentucky, you have access to all these great deals on peripherals and a bunch of other cool tech that we don't list on the website.
And if you don't want to spend any money, check out twitch.tv/ToastyBros because we do give away a PC every single month in collab with PCBROS.tech.
So check out PCBROS.tech today. Use code ToastyBros on checkout to save 3% on your next purchase. Now, let's dive into the video, shall we?
So like we said, these are all 1440p, and we are going to have some brands here that you have definitely seen before, and then we're going to have some brands that you probably have never heard of, and we have not gotten to review yet. So they may be hidden gems, they may be horrible, and we're actually going to rank these in order of the ones we like the most to the ones we like the least.
And we're gonna start things off with the most expensive monitor and work our way down to the budget option, which comes in at, yes, $99, so you're gonna wanna stay tuned for that one. But let's go ahead and kick things off with our first monitor.
So first up with our most expensive, we have the Koorui G2721X, and this is actually a brand that I personally run at home. I get the 32-inch versions, and what's crazy about this one is it's 260 hertz 1440p for $149.99.
It is a fast IPS panel, which just means it has a low response time, but it's IPS, which normally gives you good color reproduction, but normally it's a little bit slower in the responsive department. But most of these monitors I imagine will be anywhere between an IPS or a VA panel. Nothing super crazy here, pretty traditional for a monitor at this price point.
All right, we've always liked their packaging, nice and plain Jane, but gets the job done. Now, of course, we do like to look at things that people don't probably think about, like the stands. I mean, you are paying for it, and you want it to look good on your desk. So we got to look at the stand. We got to look at, is it VESA mountable in case you don't want to use a stand, and what type of things it comes with.
It looks like it is a plastic stand, plastic actual arm for it, which, you know, it's pretty decent. Might have a little bit of wobble when we're using it, but again, monitor arms are an option. It's just really cool to see a stand that comes out of the gate pretty solid.
Now, we do get an external power brick on this, and this is kind of a debate. Some people, they're not as clean, they're a little bit harder to cable manage, but the upside with it is, of course, if this dies, you don't have a brick of a monitor. You can actually replace these.
In terms of cables it comes with, we get a DisplayPort cable, which is preferred for 1440p high refresh rate.
All right, now let's see the monitor.
See the monitor right here. This is a flat panel monitor. We do have a bunch of different monitor styles and brands in this video. I believe we have a curved monitor, we have a smaller 1440p monitor, but this one right here is kind of like the meta, what I would go for if you're spending $150. Really good high refresh rate and a standard flat panel design. It's a very cheap.
Yeah, it's a very small stand for what it is.
Oop,
I'm used to seeing such giant stands. This one does have VESA. Go ahead and show you guys the back of it. This one has a very simple VESA pattern. It should be 75 by 75, I believe. And we do have a toggle for all your controls, so there's not like multiple, it's just one, including the power button. Now, as far as ports go, looks like we have 2 HDMIs, we have a DisplayPort, we have audio, and we have DC for power.
So very basic, but let's get this thing hooked up. That was pretty easy to put together. We do have a on-screen display control on the back. It's a little nub that you can move around. Always like seeing those versus the normal buttons that are on the bottom. Let's get it plugged up and plug it up to our test bench we'll be using for this video, which does feature a 9060 XT 16 gig. I went with the GPU that's more mid-range that makes sense for something like this. Obviously, in today's market, you can go even lower end the game at 1440p if you're okay with upscaling, but this represents a graphics card that I think is great for 1440p high settings on our test bench with a 9600X. All right, guys, we have the monitor hooked up with the patented Linus wallpaper. We're just gonna do a quick rundown of the on-screen menu so you guys can see what you can customize. Currently, when you hit the power button in, or the main button in, you do get quick access options you can do, but we're just gonna go to the main menu here. Actually, that's not the main menu, that is the input option. This is the main menu, which currently we have game mode. There's adaptive sync, which you definitely would wanna turn on. Dark field bright effect, we actually saw this when we did a live stream over on twitch.tv/ToastyBros. This is basically like a dark adjustment, so if you go up here, it really cranks out and blows out Linus, my goodness. We only saw this in the BIOS, by the way, so now that we're seeing on desktop, I kind of see the point here. This is just kind of a way to raise the dark levels in certain games to where you can actually see stuff properly. I would just leave that at 0, just leave it at that. Response time, it's on normal. We want fastest, I mean, come on now. Crosshair, refresh rate, I guess this will show like an FPS counter on screen. You also get the brightness, which are only at 80, so let's crank that. Oh, that actually has a decent amount of brightness there.
Yeah, it's kind of general rule of thumb. If you're not playing in a dark room and it's not an OLED or mini LED, I would just put the brightness all the way up.
We're gonna go game mode. The HDR is I guess our HDR is on by default. It actually says off, but then it says HDR on game mode. So it might just be the picture profile is what I'm gonna go with on that one. Color, we're on standard. We also have warm, we have cool, or user. What do we want to do? Keep it standard, do you think?
Yeah.
Keep it standard for out of the box, because we are going to be doing some color, not calibration, but more just figure out what color profile this is out of the box so we can actually rate it with a color calibration tool. We also have our input options here, different scenarios, and other settings as well. Power LED, picture in picture. This does apparently have speakers, or this is either the volume out or speakers or pass through. It could be either or. And it is, well, yeah, looking pretty solid there. So input looking good. What we have though is a new addition that we, basically by popular request, we got a SypderPro monitor calibration tool, which allows us to basically get a readout of what the colors are out of the box and get like an overall score. Just an extra data point we want to show you guys. We want to make it very clear. We're not going to be calibrating the monitors in this video. It's more of a way to show you guys what you're getting out of the box. Is just an additional data point. So we're not going to be doing much with the data, but just giving you all something else to show. So we're going to pull that up and get that information and show you guys that before we dive into gaming. LTT Labs has nothing on us.
Right.
Hey, McAllister stopping in real quick before I show you all the charts, because as the editor, I was putting it together and I had no clue what they were, so I had to learn what they were. So I just want to pass that along really quickly before you look at it so you can also enjoy and understand what you're seeing. First off, we have this chart here. Autism-like colors, they're on a spectrum. This spectrum you see here, the big blob, is the colors the human eye can perceive, and the triangles inside are the colors that the monitor can reproduce. Below the chart, you have a little readout of the different color gambits and how well it can show each of them. sRGB being like standard websites, YouTube, almost all your computer functions. The Adobe RGB suite being, of course, just the higher range of colors for you to use when you're editing video and things like that, while P3 remains to be more like rendered media and finished movies, things like that are already completed and more of a niche section. Next to that, we have like a little report card. You can just read what it is and then see how many stars. Instead of using stars, they use the shape of their little calibration device. Just know these are like stars out of 5. The little line chart at the bottom is essentially showing how the color white looks at different brightnesses. As the light in the backlight gets stronger, the white can kind of change between being a cool blue or a warm red. The ideal scenario is a flat line that we have the natural color white across the whole way instead of getting variance depending on the brightness, but that's what this chart shows. And then on the bottom right, we have a kind of a further elaboration between the white point and the black point, so we can see how dark it can show when it shows black and how light it shows when it shows white. So I think that's all there is to say, so peace.
Alright guys, so we are in our Koorui monitor, and I gotta show you guys a quick funny little setting. So we're only getting 240 hertz available, and if you go down to here, DisplayPort overclock, and we turn that on, and then we turned on 260 hertz. We unlocked our extra 20, and this looks really good. It does look like an IPS panel. Usually with IPS, you get a little less peak brightness, but better overall colors and contrast.
And speaking of the data points, we did run our calibration tool and got some numbers to show you guys on screen here using our SypderPro. You can use those numbers to compare all the monitors in this video, and you can, well, use it for comparison across any other monitor where a creator would use this tool. But the monitor does look good. Again, we're talking $150 or less. I'm gonna actually move around a little bit in game here and see what it feels like. Very smooth.
Yeah, it feels legit, 260.
Yeah, we're at the frame rate about 200 right now, so we won't feel the full experience, but the beauty of 1440p is it's such a nice resolution that even if you have a PC like this, you could be playing other games, you can run some upscaling and get to that higher FPS number. If you're playing some easier to run games, you'll have no problems. But also you can kind of just grow into this monitor a little bit. It looks so nice that honestly, going with even a slightly higher end PC with a monitor like this would still be a very good gaming experience. So price point's looking really good. Sharpness, very solid. If you're coming from 1080p, going 1440p is definitely a good upgrade. But we really don't have anything else to compare this monitor to just yet. We just got those data points ready to go. But now we gotta unbox the next monitor to see if the most expensive one is still the best, or maybe a more budget-friendly option will be better. Let's open the next one and find out.
Now next up, coming in at $139.99, we have an Innocn, and this is a 24.5-inch 1440p monitor. We have not seen a lot of these. Normally we always say start off at 27 inch and go up for 1440p, but this is a way if you want some tight pixel density and you just want to get into 1440p, you just don't like big monitors. Some people don't. 24.5 inch could be pretty interesting. This exact model is the 2512S, and this comes in at $139.99.
This is also a fast IPS panel that, again, is high refresh rate, but 24.5 inch, which is an interesting size. I think this is targeted for like pro gamers that really want slightly higher resolution, like 1440p, but still want to maintain the traditional pro gaming monitor size of like 24 inches, because that's very popular to have those if you just want a really tight field of view. Very tight. But I would also argue if you are a real professional gamer, I mean, I guess 1440p is getting easier to run, you'd still go 1080p because you just want the maximum FPS.
Yep. But this one's a little bit of a cheaper stand, isn't it?
Smaller monitor, so maybe it'll be okay, but plastic stand, plastic head.
Plastic arm, plastic monitor.
Plastic everything.
That's in.
Not a very satisfying click.
Yeah!
We're gonna say that's in. We're gonna say that's in. That's what we say all the time. We're just gonna say that's in.
All right, with the external brick, I don't think I said the wattage the last one, but it's 65 watts. So is the last one.
It is external brick. It does use the non-standard little Mickey Mouse connector.
That's a big John.
All right, let's open up the back of here. Again, standard monitor, but again, 24.5 inch in size. Is that standard? I don't know.
I feel so fried.
You feel deep
That
fried?
first monitor just like...
The first monitor deep fried him.
Okay, so we have carbon fiber. It's obviously just I think it's quite literally vinyl or plastic. It's just a design. It's not like they actually put lightweight carbon fiber on it. But
That'd be insane if they did.
All right, so another toolless design, which we're starting to see that a lot, aren't we?
Yes, which I like. I remember back in the day when we first started doing these monitor roundups, a lot of them required a screwdriver of some kind, or they gave you one. Now, it was Innocn also, I think, when we did our OLED roundup that had a very small OLED monitor as well.
That's their thing. So this one has two HDMI, two DisplayPort, and this PCB ain't okay.
Oh yeah, what's going on here? Let's see.
It's like curved.
Oh no.
What the hell?
First defect out of the gate. Look at our ports. You're seeing the B-roll of it, but yeah, those ports, the one display port is not in a good position right now. That's
Maybe
unfortunate.
it's okay.
It might work fine, but I will say
wait, the audio one's like unusable.
that audio one's not going to work.
This one might be like you get two HDMI, one DisplayPort, no audio.
Buyer beware with that. That's definitely a factory defect that we got with ours. So we'll see if everything else is working okay. But hey, 24.5 inch. Hopefully ours was just a, well, unfortunate one.
Probably, yeah.
Stand's very basic as well too. Just lean back.
I'm sure they don't all come that way.
I would sure hope not. All right, guys, we have the monitor plugged up with the included DisplayPort cable, and we're ready to go over the on-screen display. Right now, it is pretty dark, but we're gonna go ahead in the settings here and see what we're set to in brightness. We're only at 50 brightness. We gotta crank that up. Yes, I do want to consume more power. It does feel a little dimmer than the other monitor. One downside, I'm not a huge fan of this button layout for the on-screen display. I'm probably gonna mess it up about 20 times here. We are on the Innocn color profile, which we're just gonna leave it on that one because that's obviously what they want the average consumer to use. So let's go ahead and go to, that's brightness. Let's go back. Remember when I said I was gonna mess this up a bunch of times? So we hit this again, there it is. All right, so those are all those picture modes we did talk about. Picture settings, brightness set 100%. We have contrast set to 50. We also in the game settings, the HDR turned off. We are on the full screen mode. There are picture enhancement options, which I'm not necessarily sure what those will look like. Right, here we go, let's go back here. Boom, yes. This is like entertainment watching me try to navigate these menus. Picture enhancement, we have color enhancement, CR enhancement, shadow balance, which I'm assuming this one would be very similar to that other one that we were looking at. Yeah, it's the same mode, so we'll leave it at 50. So we did that.
What is night vision mode?
I could not tell you what that means. But there's a ton of different calibration options if you do calibrate this monitor or use the info we have to be able to do that yourself. Audio settings, picture-in-picture mode, different I/O settings, and system settings for timeout and things like that. Right now we're running at 60 hertz, and we're gonna keep that brightness at 100%. Let's go ahead and close out of that and make sure that our refresh rate is accurate, because after the last one, you might as well verify that it actually is the refresh rate it claims to be. 275? That's higher than advertised.
What's this supposed to be?
240.
Oh.
Okay, so it has 275 hertz apparently. Why don't you advertise that if it actually runs at 275 hertz? I don't necessarily know. But 275 is a nicer refresh rate, I guess. But again, we still have the downsides we already talked about the PCB with our particular model not showing up properly. But we're under calibration, dive into gaming just like we did before, and present that calibration info to you.
All right, so we're on the Innocn. This is gonna be, I think this is our only weird size monitor, right? They're all 27 except for this one.
Yes.
24.5. I mean, it's interesting. You get that extra 0.5 inches. Sometimes that could mean a lot. But yeah, as you guys can see, it's looking pretty good. Sharp. We're still getting, over 200 FPS. Not quite hitting the 240. Well, 275 hertz that this monitor can apparently do.
Apparently.
Is that just gonna be the theme of the day? Is like all the refresh rates are just the lies?
It's a gamble on what refresh you're actually gonna get, but it seems so far you're gonna always get a better refresh rate than you would think. But again, I see the appeal of a smaller monitor like this if you're a competitive gamer, but I mentioned it before during the unboxing. If you're going to get a monitor this small, you're probably looking at 1080p anyways, just because of refresh rate.
I'm not really seeing like the pixel density difference. It's not like a 32-inch monitor.
No, it doesn't look insanely sharp. It's still just a very basic IPS panel, so the sharpness isn't super noticeable compared to the other ones. But again, on screen here, you'll see all the info from our display calibration test that'll show you exactly what we got in terms of display color output and everything. We noticed this one did not get the full 100% coverage of the sRGB space and a couple other things, so just something to note when it comes to the calibration tool. This one isn't exactly perfect out of the box, and I mean, based on the PCB on this monitor, there's definitely a few concerns here. So comfortably, I think, even without asking Jackson, I think this one's definitely second now. Definitely second. It could work its way down to the end of the list unless we have another one that shows up in a bad state. But let's go ahead and jump to the next monitor.
So next up, $5 down from the last monitor. This is the KTC 1440p 27-inch, more specifically the H27S5C, 144 hertz, so 135 bucks. But now we're out of that like 180 hertz, 240 hertz range. So is it worth saving a little extra money but getting more name brand and curved?
Yep, curved is definitely a preference. Sometimes people like it curved, some people like it straight. It just depends on which one you like. But this one right here being curved allows us to see a different monitor in the price budgets we're trying to aim for. But KTC is a company that honestly, when they popped into the market, was way before some of the ones you're seeing in this video. They are a panel manufacturer that a lot of the name brands use. I think Seasonic is one of them. Their box doesn't come off though, apparently.
Dude, what am I hearing?
I think it's the stand.
Is that the motherboard in the back of the monitor?
Let's try to just pull it. Oh! No!
Okay.
Be careful when you open your monitors. Okay, what do we got here?
Whoa. We're introducing metal.
Metal.
You guys ever heard of this stuff? Metal?
Metal, and we're getting cheaper. Insane.
Yeah, hold on now.
What's the base look like? Is it one of those?
Ooh. I like to call this the antenna stand.
Oh, the old
boomerang
antenna
stand.
Now it is very small in stature, but it is more premium because obviously it's metal. We'll see if the wobble is still there. Functionality looks pretty limited, but again, basic stand here. So we're just getting the job started. Inside the bag here, we have a bunch of different stuff. Here's the power cord you're gonna use with your brick. Very traditional external power brick once again. And this time you get an HDMI, which does make sense. It's 144 hertz. So just normal HDMI 2.0 will do 1440p at 144 hertz. Facts. Now here we go. I debated last time if the other ones were curved. This one's definitely curved.
Oh, she's got a hunchback on her.
She's got a hunchback, so we'll go ahead and lift this bad boy up, see what we're looking at her.
Once again, base and mountable. I would argue this is the best looking back so far.
It is, honestly. Like, it has that little round setup going on there. KTC logo.
Is that a headphone stand?
Oh, is there a headphone stand built
in?
A
headphone holder built in the back of the monitor. I don't really know a lot of people that put their headphones behind their monitor. I guess it's cleaner that way. It's just, you gotta reach back there. And base and mountable. Now let's check out the ports.
What do the ports look like?
Can we see them all? Oh yeah, they look
Yay!
straight. So 2 HDMI, display port, headphone jack, USB, it's a service port, and then DC.
So that's mainly for firmware updates or anything they would do for diagnostic purposes. And
I like this stand the most.
Easy
so far.
peasy.
Very nice.
So stand is fixed in terms of just up and down, no height adjust, no rotate. So just tilt, which is fine. I do love to see the little nub on the back, so much easier for controlling that on-screen display, but we'll take the HDMI, take that power brick, plug it up, and then go over the on-screen display. All right, guys, let's go ahead and fumble through the menu here. We're gonna hit the little button in the middle here. Oh, straight to the menu, love that. Brightness is only at 40 right now. Whoa. Let's fix that.
Dang, this thing's bright.
That's a pretty bright monitor right there, ladies and gentlemen. Contrast is at 50, black equalizer is at 50. We're gonna leave that all the same. Professional modes are on native, not sRGB mode. We're gonna run native mode. I don't know why there's a native and sRGB anyways. Color temperature, we're on the preset, the standard preset. I love the verbiage of these companies, man. I just know, you know, we're getting value here, but it's just kind of like, yeah. Let's just leave preset, because I guess that's what they want you to see out of the gate. They think that is the best option. If we go to, see, gaming setup here, FreeSync, G-Sync, we have off currently. Overdrive, we have on standard. Whoa. Ultra fast, overdrive, hell yeah. Currently HDR is set to auto, which if we turn off, it's not on, so it won't end up working. We call this section Matt fumbling through the menu because I can't get through it apparently. Here's your inputs and then system set. So there's that USB upgrade. So if you do any flashing through the USB port, you have that and a reset option. So very simple in the menu here. Let's bring in the doctor and calibrate this bad boy. I don't know why we're adding this, but Jonah was saying, let's see if it does the flash. It's doing like a random flash in our software when we're trying to run this. I don't know if it's just, it may be done capturing by the time that happens, but I don't really know.
No, Linus!
Linus decides to pop in randomly, I don't know. So keep that in mind when you see the data point numbers if they look wacky for whatever reason.
All right, so we're on the KTC monitor, and you guys know I like a curved monitor. And this one's I wonder what the curve ratio is. Maybe 1500R?
I think it's 1500R, yeah.
1500R. We're getting 144 hertz. In all honesty, I mean, it's like we've said before, I feel like 144 is enough for 99% of people out there. We're getting around 100 and about 190, 200 FPS on this. It looks really good. This is the brightest monitor yet. It actually, I think, has the highest peak brightness, and I would almost argue maybe the best contrast we've seen. I will say, the reason it is bright, it's a VA panel. It's a VA panel, not an IPS panel. So the VA panel has more brightness. Color, like I would say vibrancy would be a little bit off. It definitely is a little more washed out, but you get more brightness and I felt it resting on my shoulder. The camera's resting on his shoulder. More brightness and 144 hertz at this resolution on budget PCs makes a whole lot more sense. You know, my panels at home are also VA panels. I think I prefer VA over IPS. Like, I always thought I liked IPS, but I don't know, I kind of think I like VA better. Yeah, VA is the middle ground between TN and IPS. You get some responsiveness of a TN panel, but not nearly as vivid of quality as an IPS. But yeah, I think for this price point, I actually like this one a lot. I think I just like a little bit more bright. I mean, you're a guy who uses OLED, Jonah uses OLED. I think at this point, none of us like dim monitors anymore, and IPS is just, it's a very dim form factor.
I like I think I'm still partial to the first one.
But you can see all the data points on screen here, so you can compare to the other monitors from our Spyder calibration test. You can see the color accuracy and the overall ratings. I don't know, I'm kind of leaning this one, just overall, just picture quality. I know the refresh rate's 144, technically a little lower, but in terms of price performance, it's cheaper than the rest, and I visually like the brightness a bit better than an IPS panel. What are you thinking?
I think the stand's the nicest too, and I feel like generally curved costs a little more.
Yeah.
So I would almost say like first, second first kind of deal.
You know what, let's put this one in first. Might as well, right? I think first place for this one just because of what we're seeing on paper here. And then we'll go with the first monitor, second, and lastly, still that NOC. And I feel like it's going to work its way down to last place because of all the PCB issue. But hey, monitor number 4 time.
So at the time of filming, this next one is $110. And this is the Gawfolk 27-inch 1440p monitor that says made in China, #super monitor. I don't know what makes it super.
I don't know what makes it super yet, but that price seems pretty good at 180 hertz. The specific panel type we are looking at here is not super clear, I'm gonna be honest with you. 180 hertz, the picture says high brush, whatever that means. What you're gonna realize once you get to these really weird brand monitors that are just aggressively undercutting all the other options, like KTC and the ones we looked at, the branding is, well, sus sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to, you're either gonna get a really good deal or there's gonna be features that are missing.
I'm liking this stand so far.
The one downside I feel like is this.
Yes, those power adapters are kind of gross.
Yeah.
And that's probably the one thing that'll end up going bad first with this monitor, if I'm being perfectly honest. There wasn't going to happen. Pretty decent stand, it is all plastic. What I do like about it is this. It's a nice wide arm, which normally will help with some of the, well, kind of shakiness that'll happen with your stand, but looks pretty decent.
So this one's still not height adjustable. That's all we get today.
This
one, they give us DisplayPort.
So we also get this in here. Thank you for purchasing our products. Any problem, please contact us via email address. There's no email on here. So don't talk to us if you have any problems, is what I'm hearing. So this one is an IPS panel, so we do expect to have the same kind of complaint we were having with other monitors, where this one might not be as bright as the VA panels, but the color accuracy will be better with this one.
All right, let's see what we get here. So this is another flat panel.
Yep, flat panel, 27-inch, very basic. Really, it's just how cheap this one's getting compared to all the other ones, and the refresh rate's better than the KTC. It is flat panel, which for some people may be better or worse, depending on what you're looking at. But yeah, it's really just the price with these last ones. Is that glossy, or does that have a peel on it?
It's got a peel.
Okay, it's got a peel. Let's say glossy would really throw me off.
So this one has 2 HDMI, 2 DisplayPort, earphone, and DC.
And it has that backing like it would look like it'd have RGB, but it probably won't.
I like the back of the monitor. It's actually kind of nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Not too bad. We got everything powered on. We're going to plug over to DisplayPort. Jonah's going to do the peel real quick. That's actually a nice peel. Oh, until it gets to the bottom. Ooh.
Oh God, it released a stench.
It did release a stench.
I feel sick.
All right, guys, we now have this monitor plugged up, and yes, it is 180 hertz. It's not like the other monitors that just decide to do whatever refresh rate it wants to do. Currently, we're at 140 hertz, and the menu is incredibly basic here. Currently, the brightest we're running as at 80, so we'll say it's pretty bright. There's a very, very slight difference there, so that's very interesting. Let's go ahead and back up a little bit there. Color setting, we are on the standard picture profile. Going to leave that the same. Color temperature is set to normal. Going to leave that the same as well. Picture quality, sharpness is set to 50. The sharpness looks okay. I noticed the text looked a little over sharpened, but again, out of the gate, that's kind of what it's wanting to rock with. So we have the aspect ratio under display. Audio, we have mute, which I guess you can mute maybe the speakers that are on this or not. I'm going to assume there's not. Multi-window, which is basically picture-in-picture, is there. On-screen display location, you can move this thing all the way around if you want to. And under other settings, you have HDR, FreeSync, and a bunch of, it says light effect. Is the light even on?
Maybe that's like you got to pay extra.
Maybe you got to pay extra. You got to plug in your crypto wallet into that thing and pay extra for it. That's probably a setting that's for other monitors that, because this is a cheaper monitor, they decided not to remove for this one. Yippee. Let's go ahead and calibrate this bad boy, and be sure to save the file at the end, because we didn't do that last time.
So we got the Gawfolk set up, we ran our test on it, and I will say this one may get a little bit lower scores compared to our other monitors, but looks-wise, it's not too bad. I would say this one, because this is IPS, but it's not fast IPS.
It's just a standard IPS panel.
Feels a little brighter, maybe?
Yeah, has a little more brightness to it. I'm wondering with those fast IPS panels if it does sacrifice brightness in terms of responsiveness a little bit, but one thing to note, and we're not seeing it now, is during the test we noticed a dead pixel kind of going in and out in the middle of the screen. Obviously, cheaper brand panel, something to be concerned about.
Yeah, overall, I mean, looks pretty good, and we're not seeing any dead pixels at the moment. We only really did see them on a straight black screen, so maybe that one little pixel's just going in and out.
Let me run around and see what I think here. Yeah, it could be the one going in and out. Obviously, 180 hertz feels a little bit smoother than 144, but side by side, you wouldn't really notice the difference. I'm just feeling right now. It feels pretty smooth, not seeing any crazy ghosting or anything. Yeah, the biggest thing is just the panel inconsistency with this one. It is really cheap though. It's one of those where if you wanted to try 1440p at $110 or during the Amazon Prime stuff for $105, that's a pretty cheap price for 1440p to give it a shot. And it has the sharpness of 1440p. It has that resolution. But it does just concern me a little bit seeing the dead pixel and some of the color readouts that we are getting here. But what do you think? This one...
So just, like, if we didn't have the spider, to be fair.
Yes.
Doesn't look
this
bad.
Looks good. Yes, this looks good. We don't want to totally just rely straight on the data. We want to go on our opinion on what it looks like. I still think it's better than the NOCN.
Yeah, the NOCN, I just... The flaw of how it showed up, and I don't know if I can be sold in 1440p for 24.5 inch.
I don't think so either. So I think this one's going to slot in at third currently. NOCN going to keep falling its way back. It's at fourth place. But we have one more kind of wild ball monitor. This one was $99 and it's 1440p, and you actually can't buy it anymore. Spoiler. Maybe that'll change when the video goes live, but let's unbox the last monitor.
So our last monitor, that is our $100 unicorn, is the Raywego 1440p monitor.
Yeah, this one is 1440p, 180 hertz, once again, 27 27-inch. Panel type, I can't check anymore because the listing is totally gone. Anytime you click on the link that'll be down below, it takes you to a 1080p monitor that they sell for $60 right now.
Which is crazy.
Which is really cheap already. But this one's kind of a mystery, and that's what I like with our Roundup videos. Normally they get inspired by a really cheap monitor. This was the one that kind of inspired it, and then from there I kind of found some other options. But 1440p.
Oh, it says 180 hertz on the box.
180 hertz. Just don't know what the panel type is.
I actually have the number here if we wanted to look it up.
Ooh, I can see it. Even though this link doesn't work, it is a fast VA panel. There we go. We got all the information we need.
This monitor enjoys getting warrantied.
It gets that warranty service. All right, stand. We have a pretty wide, look how it's shoved in here, by the way. Do you see this?
Yeah.
It's like literally just kind of like shoved into the foam. Has a lot of foam around it, but very basic stand. We also have an arm here that has some orange accents. That's a little unique.
We've been seeing the same brand too.
So I'm wondering, is all these came from the same factory? It also has the same like smiley warranty card. So I would imagine these are just randomly generated like company names that are just like manufactured from the same place, if I'm being honest at this point.
I mean, the fact that the user manual is monitor, I just feel like shows that like these are generic.
They are generic AF, and this looks like it's a display port as well that comes with it. So with that 180 hertz, I would sure hope so. And here she is, the panel. There's actually a monitor in there for this cheap, 1440p.
But does it work?
It has a clear bag too. All right.
The ports line up. I can't believe that's a criteria now.
That has now become a criteria thanks to Innocn. Oh.
What's happening, Matt?
Yeah.
What's happening, Matt? Am I there yet?
There it is.
User
Okay.
error.
All right, what we got port-wise, Jackson?
2 HDMI, 2 DisplayPort. I think every monitor had that.
Same
Except
layout.
for the Innocn because you couldn't get to it.
Except the Innocn because of manufacturing errors. All right, let's flip it right here. Stand. No rotation, no up, down. Just barely tilts.
It's like tilt with a bad neck.
Yeah, tilt with a broken neck. All right, let's plug it up with our DisplayPort and power and run our calibration. Oh wait, not the calibration. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Let's plug it up and then we'll see what the menu looks like. This one looks very scary for me. Okay, so we're on the monitor currently. That is the most generic thing I've seen so far. In terms of picture settings, we have brightness, which is currently set to 80. Let's go ahead and raise that to 100. That did absolutely. Actually goes to 99. Oh, well, there you go. It was just stuck on that for a second there. So going back out of there, contrast to 50. Everything else is very similar. The black boost is all the way up to 10 though.
Oh, it's gonna get darker.
It's gonna get darker. We're gonna leave that on 10. I don't know if that setting is exactly the same as others, because again, we don't really know 100%. The mode is user mode. Again, we're gonna leave the same profile that come out of the box. Volume here, same deal, has the mute option that you just love there. We're gonna go ahead and click overdrive and turn that on, since we did that for the other one. Extreme overdrive. Hell yeah.
I still don't understand these.
Yeah, I don't understand much of them either. Aim point, ambient light. Ambient light, once again, I don't think there's any RGB here. Does it have an ambient light sensor on it though? I don't even think it does. There's no way.
No.
There's no way. On-screen display, system here for DDC, wide mode, auto source and input, and the general information about this monitor. Okay, this monitor is ready to be calibrated. Let's go.
All right, so we're on the Raywego, and you know, honestly, first impressions, it looks pretty good. The dead pixel, I will say, in a game, it is hard to find. I mean, I say Jonah's probably, I'm assuming, really zooming in on this.
This is our first time
How many
mentioning there
moving
is a dead
helps.
pixel, by the way.
Oh yes, it has a dead pixel as well. The other one kind of completely went away. This one appears to be here to stay, but it's very hard to see. And it's not a cluster. It is like quite literally, I think, one dead pixel. It looks like a speck of dust. You don't see it in many situations, but in terms of looks, it's smooth. I feel like this one's a little, is this VA?
This is a VA, yes, it's a VA panel.
Because this feels a little brighter.
Yes.
Once again, I think I personally like VA more, so I like the look of this one more, but it does have a dead pixel. The menu's not the greatest. It does have buttons, and then our test showed that I think it was kind of like okay. So, I see what you feel about it, man.
Yeah, you see those test results on screen here. Everything seems to just be okay, but it wasn't like disastrous levels of like not being accurate like we expected with a monitor this cheap. I still think this one beats the Innocn though, definitely.
Dude, yeah.
I'm thinking pick an Innocn.
You are taking the Innocn over this?
I think I would.
Yeah, but we know how you are, though.
Yeah, we know how you are. You know what? Viewers, you can decide whether Jonah's right or we're right on this one. I don't know, this one looks just it doesn't look like far off from any of the other monitors we tested. It's smooth, the ghosting is not there. There was an era where these monitors had just horrible ghosting where it'd say it's 180 hertz, but when you actually played, it was just like Vaseline the entire time. I'm looking here. Final rankings. I think still Koorui, number 1. KTC number 2.
Yep.
The Gawfolk number 3.
Yeah.
This number 4, Innocn number 5. Or this number 3.
What was wrong with the Gawfolk?
Gawfolk also, I don't think there was anything physically wrong with the Gawfolk.
That was the one that could have had a dead pixel, but it kind of was like in and out.
This one actually has one, so like I feel like we have to take some points off for that. But this one could be third though.
Yeah.
Because the
price.
Gawfolk was a IPS panel.
Yes, and it was a little bit darker.
Yes.
We put the Koorui so high because it's VA and we just think it looks a little better.
I would say this one came out of the gate without a bad pixel. And we're just looking for pure performance. There's obviously just weird stuff about this monitor. It's really cheap. But if we're talking pure performance for the price, it would be 3 for me. But I think with the dead pixel, we almost have to kind of put it 4.
Yeah, I would say like 4, and then I don't know. I'm sorry, Jonah. Innocn, it's just the size, and it's really dark too because of it being fast IPS.
I think the Innocn has a place. Our personal preference in this ranking, which is entirely what this is right now, and then we give you the data so you guys can decide at home if it's for you, would not to be to go that direction, but it is an option you can consider. Just like any of these monitors are a good option to consider. And yeah, the final ranking is what we mentioned. So let's go and wrap this video up.
So the fun part about this test was that none of the monitors were really bad. I mean, none of them we thought, oh, you just shouldn't buy this at all. They each kind of have their purpose. Some of them IPS, some of them VA, and overall, it's pretty crazy. $150 or less for decent 1440p monitors. Maybe look at those instead of buying another 1080p or a really expensive mini LED or OLED.
And the best part is all of these are from Amazon, which has a very friendly return policy. So if you do get something like the Innocn, it shows up and it's, well, not working properly like it's supposed to or has that PCB issue, you can return it and try a different one. So do that when you are using the links down below. There are affiliate links and they will help us out if you're shopping for a monitor. And let us know in the comments down below if you end up picking one up or are you considering switching to 1440p and did this video sway you? I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below.
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros. And do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Now at PCBROS.tech, we're going to have all of these monitors for sale, and we probably have another 20 to 30 up front right now.
PCBROS.tech. It's where you can get your gaming PC, and if you come in person, Louisville, Kentucky, we have a storefront you can walk into today. You can get a monitor and other peripherals with your PC. Use code ToastyBros on checkout. You will save 3% on your next purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.